Hey everyone, ready for a wild ride? Today we're diving headfirst into the world of fintech, the future of money.
And let me tell you, it's way more than just Apple Pay or Bitcoin.
You got that right. We've got a stack of articles here, and they paint a picture of a financial landscape that's totally transforming. Like, remember when you actually had to physically go to a bank?
It does seem like a distant memory.
Right. And we're only at the tip of the iceberg. The first article jumps right into this digital domination thing. And wow, online and mobile banking are exploding.
It's mind-blowing how quickly things are changing.
It really is. We're talking about opening bank accounts from your couch in minutes with zero paperwork. These neobanks are popping up everywhere.
And they're attracting a new generation of customers who value convenience and simplicity.
But does this mean traditional banks are about to go extinct?
They're definitely feeling the heat. They're having to scramble to keep up, investing heavily in tech to compete.
So it's a good thing for consumers, right? More competition means better services and lower fees.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation.
Speaking of better services, this next article goes beyond banking. We're talking about revolutionizing lending, insurance, even how we invest.
Fintech is really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Like, ever imagine getting insurance only for that weekend trip you've got planned? Or, like, borrowing a friend's car and getting insurance just for those few hours?
That's the beauty of on-demand insurance. You get coverage exactly when and where you need it. Need car insurance for that afternoon, borrowing a friend's car, there's an app for that.
That's wild. It's like the Uber of insurance, pay for what you use and nothing more.
Precisely. And it highlights a key trend in fintech: hyper-personalization.
So it's all about tailoring financial services to our individual needs. That's incredible.
It is, and it's only going to become more prevalent.
Okay, so we've got digital banking, customized services. Ready to talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the blockchain in the room?
Ah, yes, blockchain. It's become a bit of a buzzword, but its potential impact goes way beyond just cryptocurrency.
So it's not just about Bitcoin anymore.
Not at all. Blockchain has the potential to revolutionize so many aspects of our lives by creating a secure and transparent digital record. Think about sending money overseas instantly with lower fees than traditional banks.
No more waiting days for international transfer.
Exactly. And because blockchain transactions are encrypted and distributed across a network of computers, it's incredibly secure.
That's seriously impressive. So it's like a digital fortress for our money.
You could say that, but it's not just about payments. The article mentioned blockchain could change how we manage supply chains, verify our digital identities, even vote in elections.
Wow, it's like blockchain is the Swiss Army knife of technology. Is that even possible?
It is. At its core, blockchain is about building trust and transparency in systems that have always been vulnerable to fraud and inefficiency. We're potentially talking about a massive shift in how we approach trust and security online. Imagine a world where you can be confident that online transactions are secure, identities are verified, and supply chains are tamper-proof. That's the promise of blockchain.
Okay, so we've got digital banking, customized services, blockchain. Ready for more?
Hit me.
This next one is straight out of sci-fi, using AI as your financial advisor.
It's not as futuristic as it sounds.
Really?
Robo-advisors are already here. These algorithms build personalized investment portfolios based on your goals and risk tolerance. They can automatically rebalance your portfolio and even suggest tax loss harvesting strategies.
So it's like having a 247 financial advisor without the hefty fees. That sounds amazing, but also a little unnerving.
I get it. It's a big leap of faith to trust an algorithm with your hard-earned money.
It is. How comfortable are we handing over our financial decisions to algorithms? What do you think?
It's a valid concern. And it's not just about comfort, it's about understanding that AI has limitations. Algorithms are only as good as the data they learn from. They can't predict unexpected events or factor in our emotions, at least not yet.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about replacing human judgment altogether, but rather about using AI as a tool to make more informed decisions.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between human expertise and the power of technology. And that's something we'll continue to grapple with as AI becomes more sophisticated.
So where does this leave the average person who might not be a tech whiz or a financial expert?
That's where this next article comes in. It's all about how fintech is focusing on empowering the user.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
We're talking about providing individuals with the tools and resources they need to take control of their financial lives. Think about things like personal finance management apps, microloans, and even Equity crowdfunding.
Equity crowdfunding. So you're telling me I could potentially invest in the next Google or Amazon?
That's the idea. It used to be that only big-time investors could get in on the ground floor of those opportunities, but fintech is changing that.
That is seriously empowering. But it's not just about making it easier for us regular folks to invest, right? There's a whole other side to this, the behind-the-scenes stuff that impacts how financial institutions operate. And this is where I started getting a bit lost, to be honest.
It's a lot to wrap your head around, for sure. We're talking about things like RegTech and SupTech technologies that are transforming how financial institutions manage regulation and compliance.
Okay, so less about flashy apps and more about making sure that everything runs smoothly behind the scenes. I get it.
Exactly. These technologies are like the unsung heroes of the fintech revolution. They're helping companies navigate the complexities of an increasingly regulated industry, which ultimately benefits everyone.
So it's like the foundation upon which all these amazing innovations are built.
Precisely. Without a strong foundation, the whole thing could crumble. We need to make sure that while we're embracing innovation, we're also building a solid and secure financial system for the future.
That makes a lot of sense. But this is a lot to process. We've only just scratched the surface of the fintech revolution, and it's clear that it's impacting every single aspect of finance. And the craziest part, we're still in the early stages.
We are. The next few years are going to be incredibly exciting as we see how these technologies continue to evolve and reshape the financial landscape as we know it.
It's both exhilarating and a little daunting, isn't it?
It is. But knowledge is power. The more we understand about fintech, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new world of financial possibilities.
Well said. I'm definitely feeling more informed, but also like my brain is about to explode. How about we take a quick break to process all this and then come back and dive into some specific examples of fintech innovations that are already changing the game?
Sounds like a plan. Ready to dive into some real-world examples?
Oh, I'm so ready. My brain's still buzzing from that last part, but in a good way. So, we talk about the rise of mobile banking, but what about these neobanks? Companies like N26, Chime, Revolut, are those the ones? What makes them different from, like, my boring old bank?
Oh, for starters, they were practically born in the App Store. They live and breathe mobile first, you know?
Okay, so their apps are probably way slicker than what I'm used to.
Totally. And it's not just about looking pretty. They're packed with features you won't find at a traditional bank. Think real-time spending notifications, fee-free international money transfers.
Wait, no more cringing at those insane foreign transaction fees? Tell me more. That's a game changer for my travel bug.
Great. They're really tapping into what consumers want: convenience and transparency. But it goes beyond that. The article also highlighted how neobanks are putting a big emphasis on financial literacy and inclusion.
So it's not just about making banking easier, but also about educating people along the way. I like that.
Exactly. Many neobanks are building educational resources and tools directly into their apps, almost like having a personal finance coach in your pocket.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Switching gears a bit, let's talk investing. We touched on robo-advisors, but this article also mentioned these digital brokerages like Robinhood and M1 Finance. Are those like just simpler stock trading apps, or is there more to it?
They're definitely shaking things up. They offer an easy and affordable way to buy and sell stocks, sure, but they're also challenging the old way of doing things with features like fractional shares and automatic investing. It's democratizing investing in a way we haven't seen before.
Okay, break that down for me. Fractional shares, does that mean I can buy like a slice of Apple stock without needing to take out a second mortgage?
You got it. It makes investing in those big-name, expensive companies accessible to a lot more people. And automatic investing. It's all about taking the emotion out of investing. You set it and forget it, which can be a really powerful way to build wealth over time, especially for those of us who panic sell at the slightest market dip.
Oh, you mean like me?
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
So it's about taking the guesswork and the emotional roller coaster out of it. I can get behind that. But let's not forget about the lending side of things. What about this whole peer-to-peer lending thing? And the article mentioned microloans and alternative credit scoring. It sounds like a whole new world of borrowing and lending is emerging.
It really is. Traditional lending models, they rely heavily on credit scores, right?
Yeah, which can be really frustrating if you're just starting out or hit a rough patch.
Exactly. So fintech companies are looking at ways to level the playing field by using alternative data points to assess creditworthiness.
Alternative data? Like what? My Spotify playlist. My late-night online shopping habits.
Well, maybe not that personal, but you're on the right track. They might consider things like your income, your rent payment history, even your utility bills. It gives lenders a more holistic picture of your financial situation.
So it's like they're looking beyond the numbers and trying to understand the whole person. That's pretty refreshing, actually. But hold on, what about security? With all this alternative data floating around, it seems like things could get a little risky.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a trade-off. On one hand, this alternative data can help people access credit who might have been shut out before, which is huge. But on the other hand, yeah, there are valid concerns about data privacy and security. That's why robust data security measures and responsible data usage are absolutely crucial in these new lending models. It's a tightrope walk for sure.
It sounds like it. Okay, one more thing I wanted to pick your brain about insurance. The article mentioned on-demand insurance, and my mind was blown. How does that even work? Is it like ordering takeout for insurance?
Pretty much. It's all about flexibility and paying only for what you need. Say you're going on a weekend trip and only need travel insurance for those specific dates. Boom, on-demand insurance.
No more year-long commitments for something you might only use once or twice.
Exactly. It's a game changer for things like car insurance, travel insurance, even pet insurance. They're even doing it for renters and homeowners insurance now. It's all about making insurance more tailored to our modern lives.
I love it. Okay, last but not least, we need to circle back to blockchain. I remember you mentioning something about smart contracts. What are those all about?
Right. Smart contracts, think of them as self-executing contracts, but instead of being written on paper, they're written in code and stored on a blockchain. It's like having a digital middleman who makes sure everyone holds up their end of the bargain.
So less paperwork, less room for human error, and less chance of someone pulling a fast one. Sounds pretty smart to me.
It is. And this technology has applications in so many areas, from supply chain management to real estate.
It's amazing how one technology can have such a ripple effect across different industries. This is also fascinating, but I have to admit, it's a lot to wrap my head around. It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of finance, but with so much change happening so fast, it's hard to know what to expect next.
That's a lot to take in, right? We've been going on and on about all these exciting advancements, but it can't all be smooth sailing. What are some of the speed bumps on this road to the future of finance?
You're right, there are definitely challenges. One of the biggest ones is, well, regulation.
Right, because the rule book can't keep up with every new app and technology that comes along, can it?
Exactly. It's a constant game of catch-up for regulators. They're trying to establish guidelines for an industry that's evolving practically overnight.
It makes sense, though. You don't want to stifle innovation, but you also need to make sure consumers are protected.
Right. Finding that balance is key. It's a tightrope walk for sure. And then, of course, there's the ever-present issue of security. Right, because the more we rely on technology for our finances, the bigger the target we become, right?
Absolutely. Data breaches and cyber attacks are a constant threat, so financial institutions are in a constant battle to stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
It's like a never-ending game of cat and mouse.
Pretty much. They have to invest heavily in cybersecurity, stay up to date on the latest threats, and, just as importantly, educate their customers about online safety.
So it's a shared responsibility. Companies need to have strong security measures in place, but users also need to be proactive about protecting themselves.
Exactly. It's a two-way street. Even the most sophisticated security system won't help if someone falls for a phishing scam or uses a weak password.
Right. Good old human error can really throw a wrench in things. Okay, so we've got regulation, security. Anything else we should be thinking about?
Well, one more thing comes to mind: digital literacy. As financial services become increasingly tech-driven, we need to make sure everyone has the skills and knowledge to navigate this new landscape.
So it's not enough to just have access to these tools and platforms. People need to know how to use them effectively and, most importantly, safely.
Exactly. It's like learning a new language, right? You need the vocabulary and the grammar to communicate effectively. We don't want to create a system where only the tech-savvy can thrive.
We want everyone to be able to benefit from these advancements, not just a select few.
Absolutely. Fintech has the potential to be a powerful force for good, but only if we make sure everyone has the opportunity to participate.
Well said. So to wrap things up, it seems like fintech is revolutionizing the financial services industry in some really incredible ways, making it more accessible, more efficient, and, dare I say, even a little bit exciting.
It is exciting, but as with any revolution, there are going to be growing pains along the way.
Right. It's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows.
But the key takeaway here is that knowledge is power. The more informed we are about these changes, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new world of financial possibilities.
I completely agree. So for everyone listening, stay curious, keep asking questions, and most importantly, stay informed. The future of finance is in our hands. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of fintech. We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring.